Welcome back to Solidified, the show where we don't care if we get into a little trouble. We just let them opinions fly. It's your boy, King Shizz.
It's your man, Ali the Great.
And it's Lola B.
Haha. This is, what's this, episode 27?
27.
27? 27?
Time is flowing, man. Time is going.
Dead ass.
You know, it's a personal episode today. You know, just us having some fun on the couch. I know we've been pumping out the guests.
Family.
I know.
Yeah, too many guests, man. Too many guests.
I know. You know, sometimes we just gotta have some fun with the family, man, and just
I
be
do
real
like the guests,
organic.
though.
Bring it back
Your man,
in. I
your man
like the
Stack
guests.
was wild last week.
Stack,
So.
Stack was going in. Stack, I think Stack passed
I
B
still
Knox,
have
man.
PTSD
I know
from
B
that
Knox
episode.
don't want to hear
I
that,
don't
but
know.
I think
I ain't gonna do B Knox
think,
like that.
I'm talking about like in you know, animosity energy. I think he
Well,
really.
Stack was just a wild
yeah.
nigga. That's,
Period.
B Knox is he cool. You know, I don't know if he that wild. Like Stack was just.
I think that was Stack's goal when he came in here.
You think? He was like, you
I
know
couldn't
what, I'm
figure
going to
Stack
go
out.
off.
He said, I'm about to
Because he
smash
seemed
this.
real chill.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of went the fuck off.
Every time you thought he go right, he just went left.
You know, and I was watching when I was, you know, looking at the footage after. I was like, yo, did this dude just come in? You know, I really didn't like Nas growing up. He came in real subtle with it. And I was
and
like,
this shit just went left.
And that was it.
No
The
comment.
rest was history, right? Ain't that how it go?
No comment.
Okay.
And he covered up my Nas album, man.
Oh, he was being real disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
But it's all love.
The
Shout out to
disrespect.
Stack, man. Shout out to Stack. And just in case y'all didn't hear, at the end of the last episode, R.I.P. D Dave, I want to make sure that, you know, that's highlighted, man. Very talented
Definitely.
brother. I'm still listening to his music. He was amazing.
D-Dave.
Welcome to the low life. Let me give D-Lo some love as well. That was one of his homeboys. So R.I.P. D Dave, real forever.
For sure.
So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to unload today, man. A lot of fun topics, actually. I'm looking forward to these ones. Let's just jump in the first one. What y'all want to start with?
What y'all want to do?
Let's start with...
Y'all want to talk with Tom Hanks, son?
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
Young Chet?
Young Chet, is that his
Yeah,
name?
he's
Yeah.
cooked. He's cooked.
Uh-oh.
That's crazy. For so long, he be doing a little Jamaican accent joint. I did
I
not
never
know
heard
that
of
was
this cat.
Tom
Young
Hanks'
Chet.
son.
Young Chetty.
Chet.
I didn't know. I mean,
Tom
Chetty.
and Chet.
I didn't even know Tom Hanks had a son. But, I mean, at the end of the day,
Isn't that
that's
a restaurant
cool.
in Atlanta, Tom and Chet?
Oh, yeah?
That ass?
You been in there?
I don't know. I'm about to go.
He said, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe that's theirs. So
He's
who
like,
knows?
it might be them. But,
be.
I guess, you know, Ali, you go ahead and intro that one, man. I don't really know. It was more like around cultural appropriation and...
Well, Tom and Chi.
Oh, yeah. We had the Tom and Chi before at the
yeah,
spot.
we had that,
Yeah.
Is that them or not?
That's not them.
Oh,
That's
some
not
other
them.
dude.
You never know. It could be, but I don't think that's
You
them.
know, silent investor. But, yeah.
Pop it off. Pop it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was saying that. What did he do? Because I don't know what he did, but I saw him just wilding out on this little. He
I
went
just saw
live.
the video clip you sent
He
to
made,
us.
yeah, he made a little video. I think it was on the Shade Room,
Okay.
and he was talking about like why are we so into this thing of like, you know, white people stealing and jacking from the culture, and he was just making analogies. Like he's making some crazy analogies. Like why can't if we do this, you know, we get called such and such, but when y'all do this, it's cool or whatever. Like one of his analogies was talking about. Like if a white person wears braids and they got a grill, they're you know cultural appropriating or whatever, and they culture vultures, which is true because white folks don't have hair for braids.
Okay.
I mean the Go Grill shit is cool. Like I fuck with Paul Wall.
Okay.
Paul Wall had the grills.
Paul's cool.
Paul didn't seem like a culture vulture. Paul seemed like he came up like how he came up, and now you can see it in his music. But his other analogy was like when black people. I think he was talking about Lil Nas
hold
X.
on. Pause for 1 second.
Come
That's
on, I'm in the mode.
Pause
I'm
for
in
the
the.
pause.
Come on.
Let me add. I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you think that, personal opinion wise, it's okay if you really came up like that and you're white?
I mean,
That's
if you
not
came, I know some white
culture
boys that came up like that and they move
And
like
that's
they
cool?
move, but they don't try to like you know,
Like like they
they don't try to OD
OD.
and be like let you know that they grew up with black folks.
Like the white black people.
you can tell like you don't have to like put on or like cornrows in the hair like when you white is like
Yeah.
that's you kind of pushing it like
Y'all had to see me just
So
trying to keep
basically-
sis in front of the mic.
He
'Cause
did.
I couldn't hear her as clear
So
anymore.
yeah, so basically, it's cool if you came up like that because it's authentic.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Don't
saying.
try to overly
but
do
don't
that.
try to be
Compensate for that.
black white guy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like don't
Like,
try to be
don't
like
fake
what's my movie?
Malibu's Most
Malibu's
Wanted.
Most Wanted.
Wow.
A Wigga.
What's his name? Jamie Kennedy, I think was his name.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that movie was funny.
It
though.
was
That
funny.
movie is hilarious.
That's when I fell in love with what's her name?
I'm
Regina
gonna call
Hall.
you Mothra.
Regina
Hall.
Hall. Woo. It's fire in there. Shout out to Regina.
Yeah,
But,
you know, he was,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think he was trying to use Lil Nas X as an example. He was saying when black people wear cowboy boots and cowboy hats,
It's all good.
and they rock out with country music, it's all good. But he's misinformed because country music was started by black people as well. Like,
I think, and you're right about that. He was misinformed, or that was probably a poor example if somebody knows the origin,
Right, 'cause he didn't do his
of the
research.
genre. But what he's saying, I think he has some valid points. I think he's very valid about how we have that double standard
But they be
about
stealing
everything in
everything, though.
culture. Like
Yeah, they're
everything,
not.
we're stealing this, you're stealing that. And it's kind of like, why can't they just appreciate it and be a part of it too?
well,
Why?
usually when they steal
Why
it,
not?
they put themselves on the forefront. Like they win the awards.
But
Like that year,
and that's true.
Kendrick lost the award to what's the kid name?
I don't know. But kind of like
It was a
Nipsey. Who did Nipsey lose to last year?
He lost to Cardi B.
Cardi.
We understand
All
why
right,
that happened.
We'll let that. Yeah.
But what's the white dude? He had a single a couple years ago. It was like real popping, and he won the
Macklemore.
Macklemore.
Oh
like,
yeah.
come on, son.
Yeah,
Like,
he felt that. Like Macklemore felt
yeah,
that.
because
From
Kendrick,
the, from
come
the
on, bro.
culture.
Kendrick was
Yeah.
killing that year. So
Yeah, that's
it's like
true.
when they do it, it's like elevated to a certain level. Even like the Eminems. I know we don't want to go. We're not
I
gonna
want
go
you
there
to go
today.
there. No, that's
But
fine.
like
It
when
fits.
they do stuff within the culture, even like a Luka Doncic, or how you say his name?
Luka Doncic.
Now he's dope. He's dope though. I ain't gonna take nothing away from Luka, but it's like when they do something within our culture or where we excel at, it's like they have to be elevated to a certain
Because
level.
they're an anomaly. Are you saying it's like the Matrix, right? Like you're
Right.
the one. Like you came out of nowhere and we're gonna glorify you.
You don't have to be the best though.
Right.
You can just be
You know,
decent.
Mediocre.
But like when we do it, we have to be the best.
Don't try to align that with M, but go ahead.
Now
Keep
him is
going.
dope, like but he still, he gets his privilege. But when we do something, we
does.
have to do to be the best. Just like when you went to school, your parents told you got to be
I
just
gotta
as
go three times
three
harder
times
than
harder
everybody
than them.
else. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm with
So
you.
it's really, it's the whole culture vulture, world that we live in right now.
But I think he's right. I think he's right that we do that to people, and then to kind of pick on you a little bit, we get the
Don't pick on me,
opportunity. We get the opportunity to deem who's
worthy.
not a visitor and who is
Yeah.
worthy. Like it's
they are
kind of
visitors.
like
Who we invite to the
here
barbecue
we go with that
and
shit
who
again.
and who we not.
It's not fair to say that they're all visitors.
Because he's trying to
It's
say
kinda
that
you're
Lil Nas
saying.
X was a visiting country.
Is that what he said specifically?
I mean,
Or
he
he
was
just
saying
used an
that there was
example
nothing
of-
wrong with that, but he was using him as an example
Right.
of when it's,
And
it's
where
cool
I'm
for him to
going
do
with
that.
it is more of, I agree with him that why does it have to be like, you know how you'll hear people say, let's just keep black culture black. Why does it have to be that?
Like, why does it have to stay in a
Why,
box?
right? Why can't, if somebody really appreciates my culture, why can't they come in and enjoy
emulate
it as well?
Yeah.
I think it's because we
Are
don't.
you saying because they get more credit for our culture
I
than we
think
do?
that's what he's saying.
We
I
don't
think
really
he's saying
own
it gets
the culture though.
abused.
Like it's our culture, but like Dame Dash said, we got to go to other people
Because of
to
those
get the
executives and
approval
things of
to
that
put
nature?
our culture out. So we got to like control that shit as much as we can, or else we'll lose that shit.
I think that's a fair assessment, but
Yeah, I
at the
think
same
that's fair.
time, it's important for us to see the bigger picture of that, right?
Right.
Hey, it's time for us to move like the Hoves, right? I'm gonna leave Diddy out for a second because we're gonna talk about Diddy later,
he's
but we need to move more like those guys, like the Dre's and you can say a ton of different producers or label owners, right? And just say we need to be in control, and we need to do that. We need to stop allowing somebody else to carry our culture for us. That's the easiest way for me to simplify it.
Right.
But don't get mad just because this white man went out there and he started this Universal Records or whatever, and he's being a businessman and doing what he's supposed to do, right? He's making money off of us. I mean, that's the word we choose to
Exploiting,
use.
yeah.
They exploit the culture.
But it's like in business, we're going to talk about that word as well with some other folks that we want to talk about today. But all I'm saying is you should have the opportunity to come in the game, be a white artist, be dope, and not be looked at as somebody who's just trying to steal the culture.
Right.
Like that's what he's saying, theft. Why do we have to use that word?
Well, he was giving you an example like of a white guy
Right.
with braids and
Right.
and goatee. We automatically gonna look at you like, bro, what are you doing?
And
Like,
I'm like,
but
are we
there
saying
are
that
white
white people
artists.
don't have gold teeth? That they never
That
have
was
done
his
that?
example.
And like hillbillies
I'm
and
cool-
the
like I
rednecks
said,
and
I'm
the
cool
cut with
with
the
the-
overalls,
I'm
they
cool
don't have
with the
little
gold
gold
teeth.
teeth and
I
stuff
told
like
you I
that.
fuck with Paul Wall. I'm cool with the goatee, but like
Gotcha.
once you start doing shit that's not part of your culture and you trying to come in on our shit,
Yeah.
like the braids and
Why is
niggas be
Paul
rocking
Wall
locks.
okay? I'm gonna push you on this.
Because Paul Wall, to me, I never seen Paul Wall trying to act like he was black. You know what I mean? Like Gold Grill to me is not black, but once you start doing your hairstyles and you start like, you might even start saying niggas and all that shit. That's kind of black.
Ali,
What's up?
Paul Wall had the grills with the big baggy white tees.
I never seen
and
Paul
the
Wall with a
pants.
do-rag or with
limping and stuff.
braids or Allen Iverson braids and none of that shit.
That's pushing
That's-
it to the limit. I get
that's
what
what
you're
I'm
saying
saying,
about
yeah.
that because that's more like you can't have that
Right.
naturally. You can't naturally have
Right.
that, but I'm talking about
like
things,
the little pumps and all that.
80% of the things of the culture that you can have,
Right.
right? Between us, no matter what your skin color is, most of it is just rooted from the fact that that's just what we do as black
Right.
people, right? But why can't that person do it like you said, like Paul Wall? If I grew up in that culture, I'm
Yeah,
around that
Paul was
culture,
cool.
that's just okay. So,
Paul was cool. He never came off like he was trying to be black.
but what
he did
is
his
that?
thing.
What is trying to be?
You can
black?
tell, like, we talk about Malibu's Most Wanted. You start
Right.
talking like that's not how you move. You don't move like that.
Like you don't move like that. You don't talk like that.
But
you
we
can
know
tell.
Paul from Houston.
You could tell it's forced.
Right.
with you.
You
I'm
could
with you.
identify that in some people. Like, all right, you could tell.
Even
this
like
white
M.
boy, he's
M
invited
was-
to the
M
cookout,
to me
but
didn't
this
try
one
to be
he's
black.
trying to be
Except for the
something
do
that
rag
he's
shit.
not.
But besides that, he looked
He
like
was
he
just trying to get a little spin on it, like you, man. He was just trying to
He
get
ain't
a
getting
little
no spin.
spin.
I have seen a
He
couple
had
white
the
boys
little
spinning,
blondie
though.
joint with the little lines at
I ain't
one
never seen the
point.
waves.
Yeah,
You
M
gotta
was on.
Screenshot that for me.
I'm shady. He was on for a second.
I never seen that. But besides
Shout
that,
out to V Rabbit, man. Like Lola
B
would say.
Rabbit.
yeah.
My man,
Besides that, I
8
never
Mile.
seen him
Fuck
trying
the
to
free
be black.
world.
I'm with you, bro. But
He even had an interview with some white dudes was calling in. They was mad at him. They was like, "Stop acting black," and he was like, "Damn, like
who,
what you
M?
doing?" Yeah.
Because he had the do-rag on?
Nah, he was just talking. Like they was like, I think Rose.
All right.
What's the dude with the curly hair? He does the interviews. Not Rosenbaum.
Vlad,
Nah, he's way
not
before them.
them.
Like he OG. Like not
Rosen-
Rosenbaum,
Paul-
but like one of those type of like little names. But
I can't remember.
I'll
But let me
send it
say
to you.
this.
But it
to
was a
you.
young M too.
So let's remember, right? We talk about
up?
do-rag, stocking cap, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes niggas just put that on because they having a bad hair day.
I
They're
don't know. I
not
got
trying
waves,
to do
so-
the waves for it. But some dudes
Yeah.
just throw it on. I know that there's been
But
a
where they sell
time,
them at,
bro,
though?
where you might have been the lineup wasn't as crispy and you was like, let me throw
At
this
the beauty
shit on.
supply?
What is some at?
At the beauty supply.
beauty
Yeah,
shop.
what pictures on the beauty supply windows?
Our
What color
beautiful
skin?
black
Is that what
queen.
you're talking
Who they
about?
marketed to?
It's tough.
Only people
you
you see up in there is
100% right.
us.
You winning in that category. I'm
I'm
just saying.
just saying, like I
Don't
never
pick
seen no
on
white
him
boy.
because he was hiding.
He had the
the little
do-rag
curl.
on. He was wilding with that. He ain't had no waves, but I never seen. Besides that, he seemed like he was always himself. I never
Authentic.
caught him slipping like, oh,
I'm with
that's
you.
how he really talks.
So
like,
can Chet just pull up and be playing that new D Smoke in the car?
He better
with
be.
the windows
Yeah,
down.
if
he
he like
better
hip
be.
hop, he better be.
I'm just saying.
But
Is
don't
he
do-
okay? Is he safe at the cookout, like you said?
I don't know enough about him.
I'm
I
just.
don't know about the cookout.
anything- I don't know
but he
anything
cool.
about
You
him.
don't know how he makes his dishes
I don't know how
yet?
you make the dish.
I don't know if
Switch.
he used Miracle Whip or if he used
I just don't agree
mayonnaise.
with what he was saying. But,
I don't know.
I think he's just a little hurt. I feel like some people
Marinade.
want to be with that black culture until it's time to be black. Like,
Hey, you're
know what
right.
I
I
mean?
got a shirt that says
You
that. Everybody
might-
want to be black till it's time to be black.
Because when he get pulled
You
over,
just said something right
he's
there.
Chet
That
Hanks.
privilege.
Oh, he's Chet Hanks.
You know what I mean?
Hi, how are you today, sir?
Right.
Everything okay?
But I'm sure you like hip hop. I'm cool. Like, I know a lot of white boys that we vibe off the same hip hop.
But I can identify with that statement. Like I
Everybody
feel
wants
where
to be
you,
black
yeah,
today.
I feel where you coming from. Because even the earlier comment that you made about being recognized and things of that nature, the white people or some white people, not all, whomever this applies
Let
to.
them
basically,
opinions fly.
Basically, I want to be specific and I want to be clear. I don't
Pacific
want it,
like the ocean.
I don't want. I said Pacific. I'm pretty
Nah,
sure
I'm
I
just
said
fucking with you.
specific.
Fucking with
Oh,
you.
I was gonna say.
Y'all see Lola's nails?
When you was like
What I said.
Nail feast.
that they
I'm distracting it.
he is that
Come on, B, let it out.
Let it out,
when you were saying that like black people want to get recognized for certain things as a part of our culture, but like you have to seek approval. You have to make sure you do it a certain way. You have to
Right,
make sure you're
yeah.
not too black and you're not too this and you're not too
Yeah.
that.
Even
But
like
here
with the
comes-
whole Gayle shit
right?
that's
But
going
here
on,
comes
like, niggas be upset.
this white
Oh,
guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing the same thing. And
Staying
there's
out
no
of that.
there's
Yeah,
no
stay out of
question
that, too.
about it. He ain't
Kobe,
running
RIP.
into no problems. You know what I'm saying? Like interactions with police. Like it's not affecting his life
Right.
Yeah.
the way it affects our life, being ourselves and just
Right.
inhabiting
You're
our
right.
culture. You know what I'm saying?
You're
It
right.
doesn't cross. It doesn't cross, you know what I'm saying, the race like that. It just doesn't. So
Right.
that kind of ties into, that comment that I felt ties into that as well. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, shit, when it's time to be black,
Are you gonna be you?
Cricket,
Are you gonna continue to be the same way you was
Right.
before?
So it's just, I feel you. I'm not gonna agree and say that, because I do feel where you coming from too. Shit, it's like on the why I gotta be theft. You know what I'm saying? If I feel
grand
it
theft.
and if I rock with it, why can't I? Now
Grand
some
theft.
stuff is a
And they
stretch.
stole country music from the slaves.
Some
though.
stuff is
That's
definitely.
wild, but
We'll
it's
leave it
true.
there.
Some stuff is a stretch. I will say, like, come on, like you look ridiculous,
Come on,
or
man.
you know what I'm saying, like you.
But let my man's like Travis Kelce, right, from the Kansas City Chiefs, a tight end. Like, he got the fresh lineup beard, you know, he got the little low cut, like
He got him
my
assistant
man
and
Ali
everything,
or
too,
me
huh?
with the lineup.
Yeah, he
he
ain't
got
got
a
the cut
black
like Ali,
lady, he
man.
got
He ain't
everything.
spinning.
We talking about the lineup,
Okay,
bro.
okay.
He got white boy here, but
Yeah, he got him a sister too. He
But
probably
he
listen to
wears
hip hop and all that.
oh,
you know?
is that? He's
Yeah.
fine. They
See
look
how
so
she
cute together.
felt?
They look so cute together. They be having
I'm
these
just
little
saying.
videos on the field.
But is
and
it
she be
okay?
supporting
Because
her
I
man.
don't know if
But
he's
he wears
always been rocking
but
it
he
like
wears
that.
a short haircut.
Is what okay?
White guys that wear the
That's
buzz
the
cut,
culture. That's
the
us.
short cuts.
What you mean?
They
Like
do
the
be
look,
having
everything
they
that
do
he's
be having
doing.
kind of lineups and stuff
I
like
mean,
that
you know,
when they wear
I
the
ain't
short
gonna tell the boy how to
cuts.
cut his hair, like you know.
But that's part of the game, right?
Now if you walk around with the braids and all that, we like, come on, what are you doing,
But
son?
what it's comparable to what we're talking
locks,
about.
if
With
we wear
Chet.
locks
Even
and
Chet
shit.
got the little line
He
of
got the
bed from
line
what I
of it.
saw
And you know,
too.
he had the
With
New York or the
low
Detroit
cut,
fitted,
not too
you know.
wolfy.
He like that hip hop culture.
Or even the guy, did y'all watch
But we
y'all used to watch
influencers like that.
Empire?
Nah,
No.
I'm good. I'm
Oh.
a
Nah, he
power
ain't
guy.
power
Okay,
all the
okay.
way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
R.I.P. Ghost.
We about to find out.
Oh,
we about
is he
to find
dead?
out. We don't know.
Tomorrow. He
Oh, I
dead.
stopped
We know he
watching.
dead. He
Find
dead.
out.
We know he
We
dead.
about to
He died in
find
the last
out
episode.
in the next couple of days, whenever y'all are watching this. But yeah, man.
So I don't know. I kind of I can't really specifically give an opinion on the matter because I do feel where
feel
you're
like
coming from
deflecting,
about
Lowe's
not,
deflecting.
Oh, he threw it on you
The queen of
today. He said he
deflecting.
deflected.
That's reaching.
Hey, the queen of
I'm
deflection.
not the queen. That's reaching. That's all
He
you,
on
bro.
it. That's all.
That's all you, bro. But I do. I feel where you coming
Perhaps.
from about why does it have to be theft? Some
Yeah.
stuff
It's
like.
always theft.
Yeah.
But I feel where you coming from too, for
Culture
sure,
vultures,
for sure.
man.
Like,
so,
stop reaching.
Yeah,
So
like,
we can say that.
Can we
then.
have
We
something?
can wrap that and say,
like stop
stop
reaching.
reaching. You know it's beyond your limits.
Yeah,
Can we
Stop
have
reaching.
something,
beyond
man?
your limits.
Right. Be live within your means, right? You know how
Right.
we say that about, financials? Go ahead and make sure you do that with
I think black
your
people,
culture.
culture-wise, so much has been taken from us,
Everything.
and we've had to fight so much for stuff that's one thing that we just kind of want to be
want our
ours.
shit, man.
We just want something to have to be ours to appreciate among
Speak on
ourselves,
it, Harriet
to
Tubman.
share among ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have the same history.
Young Angela Davis over
Young
here.
Angela
I'm serious. We
Davis.
don't have the same history. We don't have the same background. We do not have the same struggles.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what the fuck else do you want to take? You know what I'm
And I
saying?
ain't coming on here to be on no Uncle Tom shit. I'm more just trying to be like that person who tries
And they
to
flipped the
neutralize.
Uncle Tom shit too. Uncle Tom was a rebel though. They flipped that shit too. We'll talk about that later.
He
though.
on some real
We'll talk about that
revolutionary
later,
shit,
man.
man. Make sure y'all do y'all research, man. You see that man got the books in the back. But yeah, I'm just saying I don't want to, come off as Uncle Tom. I'm just coming off as somebody who wants to be able to neutralize some of the hate, that we have for each other all the time.
For sure.
So,
But I get
you're
it.
right.
But I get
You're
it.
100%
I feel
right.
it, and I get it, and
Right.
I don't 100% have a problem with it because, like you said, at the end of the day, we started this. Can we have something just to share among ourselves and our people? You know what I'm
fair.
saying? So
All right, that's fair. All right, well, good topic. Chet, do your thing. But
he's hi. My name is Chet.
live within your means, brother, and which means stay within your culture. Don't reach too much, but you
reach.
can come on over, and Ali will call you
You
a
could
visitor.
tiptoe.
You can come
could
play
stick your toe
tiptoe.
in.
Yeah, you
Shout
come
out to
visit,
shout
man.
out
You
to
can
Fleet
come
for Flame.
visit.
She said tiptoe in the Louis stove, but something different.
What's
yeah.
that?
One of our upcoming guests,
his
Fleet for
face when
Flame.
he
She gonna be
turned-
on here.
His
Okay, I
face
was
when
like,
he turned
you know.
around.
He be doing them voices. He be
Yeah.
doing that Trey
Oh,
Songz
God.
voice.
Louis stove. But yeah.
Wow.
But okay, so just moving along.
I need
man.
to listen. I really like that voice.
I'll share it to you. We'll get to meet her officially, sometime in
coming
the
on?
near future. She said she gonna roll
Soon
on,
come.
so soon
Soon
come.
come.
There you go. Shout out to
That's
the
funny.
Jamaicans.
That's funny.
But Nicki,
Oh God.
Cooked.
Meeky,
Cooked.
Nicki, Nicki
Mickey.
Minaj, Meek Mill, and then I'm not sure what her husband's name is, but
I just know his
we'll
name
just
is
say Nicki
Mr.
plus
Petty.
one. Nicki
Wow.
plus one.
Mr. and Mrs. Petty.
Oh, that's what they're
Niggas is
calling
fighting in
No,
the
themselves.
Grocery
that's
store?
his name. That's his last name.
Petty.
Yeah.
Mr. Petty. There
Are
you
you
So
go.
serious?
Mr. and Mrs. Petty.
So Nicki
Deadass.
Petty now. That's
done,
that's
man.
fire though on the low.
On the low.
You gotta
Slick,
kind of let them
slick,
have it.
right.
But I don't know, B. What's going on with
All
this
right,
one?
so let me
You
put
know
y'all
you
on.
better
You gotta
than me.
inform us.
I can't
So
intro
I
this
think
one.
this is where the beef, or not beef per se. I don't really know if they got smoked with each other or not.
Word.
But apparently they ran into each other. Nicki and her husband
Okay.
and Meek Mill ran into one another.
Okay.
Words were exchanged.
Where they running? They was at the Louis store or the Gucci store?
Some store.
Some store. And
Some store you spend a lot of money at. Go
right.
ahead.
Then words were exchanged, and I heard that Mr. Petty called Meek a pussy under his
Oh yeah,
breath.
I caught that. I saw
Under
the little
his
clip.
so
Okay.
it was some strife.
It was
you
under
know?
the breath.
Nicki, I mean,
his
Don't do
breath.
that. Don't do that man like
Meek
that.
was
That's what
on
I
some
heard.
shit like
That's
you
what-
don't want to see
that's what
me
my
one
sources
on one.
say.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why they couldn't just
I've
piece
been
up, man?
informed.
Black men showing each other love.
I have
man.
no idea. So, anyways, it seemed like that's
Sad
really
times.
where it started. That's when their names were just kind of popping up heavy. Like, all right,
Yeah.
so they done got into it. What's good? This man want to shoot the ones with this dude, and it's just
Right.
like, okay. And so from there, now Meek and Nicki been going back and forth on
At it.
Twitter.
On
Twitter
Twitter fingers is back.
fingers is going in. They putting each other business out on the
Everything.
street. Nicki put Meek out, told everybody that he be beating on women. He beat up on his
Allegedly.
mom.
Allegedly.
This is all
Allegedly,
very
man.
alleged. Yes, let me be clear.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's why I stay off the internet, man.
Allegedly that he beat up his sister. He kicked her. Nicki, he said that
Damn,
he
we got the tea
kicked
today,
her
man.
before.
Yeah.
He
Is it
said
tea
he
time
kicked
already?
her.
I know.
Not
We
yet,
early,
not yet.
right? We early.
This whole episode is tea time.
I
man.
know. That's true.
This is a very this
This
is
is a very T with Lola B
It
episode.
is. So, so she said that allegedly he kicked her, he beat up his sister, he hit his
Allegedly.
mom.
Allegedly.
And Meek is like, your bag running low. That's why you trying to tarnish my name. You trying to get back popping
Damn, Meek been
because
eating though. It seemed like.
And that's what his point is.
that's what his point is. He
Yeah.
said Nicki bag getting low. That's
He
why
said, Nicki,
she's
the
dragging his
momentum
name.
These
burning
niggas give me
out.
these bags,
That's why
man.
she dragging his name through the dirt.
Give me
And
some
so
of that
then
bag,
he
man.
putting it out there that she knew that
Let's eat.
her brother raped that girl, his stepdaughter.
Yeah, I was hearing about
And,
that for a while.
yep,
Yeah.
he said that she knew because he was around.
Yeah.
And
I was around.
and that
Yeah.
and now Nicki talking about he was around, so he know that the girl's mom, Nicki allegedly got little Shorty's mom on recording trying to extort her for $20 million
plot
to
thickens.
drop the charges and to drop all this shit and stuff like that. And she was like, Nicki said, you was around.
I'm gonna
So,
play Gail. That still don't mean that
It didn't happen.
it didn't happen.
I don't really
'Cause how
want to
would
hear
you
her
know?
name.
Right.
It puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Really?
That's
Damn,
what-
black folks getting bad on Gail right now, man.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk
It
about
was
her.
an
Talk about it.
unfortunate timing for her to do
Yeah.
something like
It's too
that.
early.
Yeah, it was a bad. She
insinuated a lot with her gestures.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not even gonna say too early. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
it
she was
just wasn't-
insinuating
it
too
wasn't
much in that
tasteful.
interview.
It just
Yeah.
wasn't tasteful, and I don't really want to talk about her. But
Gotcha.
anyway,
Yeah.
though, so she like,
So we
yeah.
off-
Just
we
spilling
off
tea.
that.
We
We
off
off that.
We off that. So she like, yeah, you was around. You know what I'm
just spilling
saying?
some
So
tea.
they both basically putting all this fucking business out, and it's just like, whoa.
Chatty patties, man, as
like,
Dame say.
Whoa, and then everybody like it sucks
Chatty
that it
patty.
took it sucks that it took for Meek to claim Milano. What's her
That's the
name?
lady.
That's
Young
his
Shorty,
girl.
I think he
That's
posted
another person in
something
the
about
situation.
it. Yeah.
He
He
that's
did
his girl.
post
That's his
something.
shorty. Yeah, he posted and was like, my girl pregnant right now. Like, I don't have time for this
Okay.
shit. Like, I'm off this basically. And that was the first time
Poppy
that
Meek.
he has publicly claimed her as his woman and that this is his
What's wrong
child.
with that? What's
He
wrong
had
with
to do
you
that though.
know?
See, at this point, right? Because I was thinking that, and I thank you, V, for kind of giving us just a little bit of a refresher on what's
background,
going
just
on
a
in the
little bit.
background,
Little
right?
bit.
Because they
Little
were going
bit.
back and forth. It was a lot of wild shit. I see this as a breakup that went bad. And you know how when you break up with somebody or you've seen it, you've observed it from a distance, people breaking up and everybody just starts throwing salt on each other, right? Like, oh, your dick's little,
Yeah,
or
but
this
this
and
is
that,
big
or this
shit.
and that, and you're like, oh, but I was just blowing it out the other day, and you was good.
You just
but,
had my little dick down your throat,
right,
down your deep throat.
Oh, I never had it like this before, or the opposite way around, baby girl. This shit is so wet. Oh my God, this is the best I ever had. Can I keep it in? Can I keep it in? And then later on, you like,
It's pelvic.
oh man, that thing is wider than the ocean. Like, that's just what people start doing, right? When they was
Right.
deeply in love with somebody and they thought they
Niggas be
had
getting hurt,
something.
man.
Niggas be
They
bigger.
they was dropping tracks. They had like 4 or 5 songs, if I recall, like 2 or 3 on Meek's album alone, where they was like trying to be that J&B, that new J&B.
I don't know. They always looked not awkward
They
to
was
me,
trying.
but they just never did it for me together.
I
They
just
just
think that
didn't
they're
look
emotional.
Damn,
like.
B, you wasn't a fan of that?
I'm not gonna say I wasn't
I
a
liked
fan.
it.
B said they
I thought
weren't
it
doing
was
it
cool.
cool.
Aesthetically, they just
Didn't fit.
for me.
Why? 'Cause
It looked a little
it was
forced.
Meek. You felt like Meek was a little too grimy for Nicki. He wasn't as plastic as Nicki.
No, I won't say that.
Yeah,
no.
shady.
I like Nicki, but
No, I
I feel
won't
like
say
she
that.
the
But
Barbie
do you?
image.
Do you really?
I really like
I
Nicki.
don't. No, I wouldn't
That
say
was
that.
Because I didn't do the thing with Megan. I
But-
didn't throw Megan under the bus just to make Nicki look good. Nah, I'm not
You ain't
doing
tear one
that.
sister down to pick another one up?
Ah, that's your punchline, but
Yeah,
you
you
right.
know.
In that case.
Damn, B, you said you wasn't feeling it though. Like,
Yeah, she said she didn't like that look together.
It didn't seem authentic. I don't know. It just never
none
settled.
of this shit really seemed
What you gonna
authentic.
do?
It never really
Meek and
settled.
Nick. Hey, remember Chris Brown on the baby? I was trying to feel it too. Thank you. Look. Thank you for helping me. But yeah,
Okay.
man.
I had
That's
to get
cute,
that
man.
out. I was stuck like.
That was cute. Man. But yeah, I don't think
But they spitting wild
It's a lot of
allegations
shit
now.
that they're
Like this
saying.
is bigger than oh your dick little, oh your pussy whack. Like
Yeah.
oh your brother was raping his stepdaughter. Oh you was
Yeah,
beating
that's a
up on
whole
me, your
nother
sister,
level.
and your
what
mom.
I mean.
Like,
That's what I mean when people are emotional, right? And they still have some type of connection. They're
Shit
they're,
just
they're
goes
hurt.
sour.
They didn't like.
They
They
be
didn't.
big hurt.
They didn't have closure at the end of that relationship. It just kind of went where it went, and now the public gets to see it all on display, and they're just like, whatever, let's do it. Let's have some fun today.
Niggas too old for that.
But
though.
I think they're both those type of people. That's why when you said what you said about, I don't think that they fit. I think they did fit because
okay.
of what I'm seeing right now from both of them on both sides. Like both sides are being very petty.
Petty
Both people
patty.
are willing to be chatty
Patty.
Chatty
petty
petty.
now. That's what we're gonna
Petties.
call her, chatty petty. And then chatty Meek. So it's like at the end of the day, or Twitter fingers, as Drake would say, like they're both doing it. Like they're okay with it. Like
Yeah.
if it was somebody else, like say it was
Me-
Hove.
me
Say it
too.
was Hove, right? And say
You would
if
never
B
know.
was going in, right? Or Salon just going in. Let's do that, right? Hove wouldn't even go on nothing. You wouldn't even know how he's feeling. He'd drop an album later, right? But
about 3 years later.
right, but it'd be very classy and tasteful, right? Like it
Yeah.
was, But you would never hear it. But
You're
these
right.
two people, because they match in the petty department, maybe I'll say that then, right? In the petty department,
Petty Express.
they're both
The Petty
doing
Express.
it. Petty Express. Shout out to Trey. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that this was like super T with Lola B type shit. Like as soon as I saw like Nicki was trending or Meek was trending, I was like, ah shit, let me look through here and see what's happening. Let me go right to Meek's page. Meek Wild and talking about, he raped her. And I'm like, oh shit, let me look at I'm like, look at
Exactly.
Meek. And Nicki's like, well,
Exactly.
you be kicking bitch. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So
Exactly.
it was very
Meek
entertaining.
even made a comment like, he said something to the effect of it not being okay that like my girl sitting right here watching me tweet about my ex.
Yeah.
Like this shit is not okay. I'm off this shit.
out.
He was
Yeah,
like,
he
I'm rich.
closed
He was
it,
like, I'm
yeah.
rich, something. I got better shit to do or some shit like that.
I feel him. Like I don't even know.
I'm
don't
just
even know
mad
why
it took him
he
that
said
long.
it
Yeah,
at all.
I'm mad
Doing
it
it,
took
huh?
him that long to check himself. Honestly, Shorty really should have. I would have. That's the moment where you be like,
Baby,
like,
stop.
I know you tight,
Right.
and I know she throwing your name under the bus, but this is a moment, especially with your platform and everything.
Where he's at
you gotta
now.
be the bigger person.
Right.
You
Stay
gotta.
outta there.
You cannot ignite that flame.
Stay
you cannot
outta
keep
there.
that shit going. Like I definitely would have. What I gotta do? Take your phone? Because
Yeah.
it's not what we gonna do. Because it's us now.
messing up
So
the
we're
bag.
a reflection of each other.
Yeah,
I care
it's
about your
helping the bag.
brand. You know what I'm saying? Like we a unit.
Yeah.
This not what we doing. So I definitely would have pulled him to the side on some. Hey, whoa,
Word.
baby boy.
Baby boy.
Baby boy.
Shout out to B. Simone.
I definitely would have pulled him up to the side. Like that's not how we gonna do that.
Come through, B.
That's not how we gonna do that.
But yeah,
So,
I mean, I'll say the Twitter thing, okay, but can we talk about the store a little bit? I know it was kind of like a little far away. You kind of got to get the arrows TMZ's pointing at where Meek's at. You can't
Yeah,
really
you
see
can't-
Nicki
yeah.
and Petty, but you can
Oh,
hear
yeah,
them in the
footage?
background.
Like the baby?
Yeah, but the baby's a little more clear. This
Okay.
was more like they were further back in the store and the person just kind of had the little phone. Like,
Niggas wilding out in the
you know,
store.
TMZ, yeah, it was a lot of pussy ass niggas back and forth between people. I think Meek said like, you don't want to see me one on one. He was kind of, you could tell Meek something like a light bulb must have went off, and he was just like, let me get out of here. Like, this is a bad look for me. I just got off probation. Look, I just beat that situation. Let me get out of here.
Fighting niggas in like.
When are you too old? That's a good question.
That is a
good
good
deviation.
question.
I like that. I don't think I'm too old to ever beat somebody's ass if the stakes are really high.
Right. I mean,
like if it's a situation
on a certain level,
right? Like
the disrespect gotta be on a certain level.
When,
but if I'm rich, like these niggas, like, come on, bro. Like,
remember what your man Hov was saying, right? And I missed the bar the last time.
Every action doesn't require a reaction.
Right. But then he also said some shit like, hypocritic system, let me right back at you. Like, just saying, like, I got the bread to pay that lawyer that 100 stacks.
Right.
Because I need to make a point. And he was like, we was talking about On Rivera, right? He was like, this nigga, yo, I scratched him. He went home without an aspirin or some shit like that.
That was young.
And now we back friends. But believe me, there's been a lot of clips that, like, even at, I forgot what the not concert, it was like a club or a party that Beyonce and Hov and all of them was at. And somebody tried to tape Beyonce having a conversation with her, and Hov snatched the phone.
That was at their.
He ain't knocking nigga out though.
That was
right in that situation.
He's too smart for
I
that.
still believe Hov will smack somebody in the face for his wife.
Too.
Like, there's a certain level of
Did you see his
stakes,
face?
right?
Did you see his face when he did it? Give me that fucking shit.
Right, he had no problem with it.
What's wrong with you?
I feel like he didn't even think about it. Like, it was
didn't.
second nature. Like, nah, I'm powerful. I'm snatching your phone, nigga.
Because he gonna get sued.
That part, and it's like,
but you snatched my phone. I'm fucking suing
Hov and
you too.
Beyonce carry themselves a certain way.
My wrist. I need $2 million.
Their exclusivity.
I'll settle out for $500K.
Their exclusivity. Their events.
She'd be like, let's move on.
Let's go. Their exclusivity. Their events.
Right.
Everybody know how they get down.
Shit. Yeah,
everybody know how they get down. Their privacy and stuff like that. Like, Beyonce had a whole Halloween party. We still ain't seen no pictures from the Halloween party.
But what I'm saying, the reason why I brought that up is because, you know, our good brother Ali over here was talking about when are we too old to fight?
Like, I mean, I agree with you. When the stakes are high,
my
absolutely not. But when the stakes are high enough,
but what if your ex's guy comes at you real aggressive?
I mean, if you come back, come on, you can't stop something like that. But like, I'll be like,
that's the energy it was in the Louis store.
Right, but they probably already had that animosity already though.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be worried about who my ex dealing with.
Or whatever store it was.
That shit is so funny to me. Say it again.
He's like, Ali, you a pussy ass nigga. He's just, that's what Petty,
if I'm Meek, I'm still gonna be like, bro, like.
You got it, bro.
I'd be like, you a clown. Right.
That's
and see, that's how me and you function, right?
Now, I mean, I don't know what bro do or nothing, but like in that situation, I'm be like, bro, I run my own. I'm a business.
We know he's a convicted felon. We know he's a convicted sex offender. Or
Hey man, I'm far back. I don't know nothing about that.
But she's saying she's speaking in fact.
Yeah, look it up. That's all people were talking about when they found out Nicki was getting married. She was like, everybody was like,
they was
strange circles.
Everybody was like, to this thing.
Oh, you saying strange, but what you mean? I know what you really mean. The funny boy circle.
The brother and then, you know.
Now the
I don't know. I gotta do my Googles.
It's not alleged.
Like Fredro Star, I gotta do my Googles.
Yeah, it's not alleged. He has a criminal record for these very specific charges.
Well, we gotta check the paperwork and see what's on the paperwork.
Because it could just
he could have been, I don't know, messing with a shorty.
Sometimes your paperwork be all crazy and then it wasn't what you thought it was.
21 or 19 and she was 16, just built like a stallion.
Those things
happen.
Like
Megan with the knees.
Those things do happen.
These things happen.
These things happen.
Gotta ask for them birth certificates and them social securities.
I don't need a license. I need a birth certificate.
I need to see your baby pictures too.
Right next to it.
With the date on it, with the Kodak and all that.
Standing next to it with your birth certificate.
Correct.
Can't even hold it. But yeah.
Right.
But nah, I think, you know, it got a little wild in the store, and I feel like you're right. That was a good thing to bring up. When are we too old for that? I think Meek's above 30. Nicki's definitely above 30.
Too much money to be fighting.
You know, I'm sure Petty's somewhere in there as well. It's so much money.
Too much money.
To make, to be in there wilding out in the store. And then sometimes, you know, I'll tell you this, right? Don't y'all feel embarrassed sometimes? Like, even though we like drama, don't you, like, feel embarrassed? When you see that, like, I'm seeing me
after
in the
fact,
store yelling back and forth. We got white folks walking around like
there
with
go
the
them,
side.
there
go the
niggers.
niggas again.
There no niggers with an arm.
I feel embarrassed when we start acting out of control,
because niggas, you already know how niggas be, man.
No,
niggas is cooked,
but that's
man.
the problem, bro. You see how
I
we're
used to be, but now I'm like, it's over, man.
It's like the cultural appropriation thing that you talked about,
what
right? Like, and I'm connecting it.
I mean,
in a
it's
wild
embarrassing,
direction.
but it's like you already know, like, what finish, man. We be doing dumb shit like that. So it's
So we have to be accountable.
We gotta be better.
That's what I'm talking about. We need
We
to
gotta be
own,
better.
right? We need to own those labels
Yeah.
so we can own our culture. The same goes in those situations.
Right.
We need
Yeah,
to be
we
accountable.
know we be out acting a fool in
Take
public during
ownership
times
for
where
that
we
shit.
I
shouldn't.
just be like TK Kirkland, like, who
That's
raised
not
you?
okay.
Who raised you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No,
But
deadass.
that's what I mean. Sometimes I be like, damn.
I mean, it's embarrassing, but like, come on, how many times? How much embarrassed can you be? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, it's to get to a point where you like, all right,
That's true.
it's
You
cooked.
just gotta be like, fuck it.
Cooked, man. Niggas is cooked.
But yeah, I guess we'll see. The saga probably will continue. I'm sure there'll be some other interaction on Twitter where somebody's tired. It's a rainy, snowy day, whatever, and Meek makes a comment about something, or Nicki is just feeling herself on the radio. Or shout out to
Hopefully
what is it
they'll get
called?
it together, man. They'll
Barbie Radio.
reconcile.
What's her radio station called on Apple?
I do
It
not
be
know.
something where she be
Queen
she be,
Radio.
Yeah, she be funk flexing it out
Oh.
there.
Yeah, so I'm sure she'll make a comment about something and it'll ignite the fire again under Meek, and we'll have some more details, some more juicy stuff to talk. But all right,
That's how they get paid, though. That's business.
right, it's good publicity for both of them. They both dropped a single. One was good and one was trash.
Some of it is good publicity, but
One was
who
good,
dropped
one
it?
was
Who dropped the
trash.
single?
Both.
Oh, that
Meek,
JT joint you sent me?
Meek dropped a joint with
Yeah.
JT, which is pretty solid, pretty good actually.
Meek on
That's a
that.
hit. That's the last time I heard a song like that where there was a crossover with JT was like with T.I. Dead and gone, dead
Hey, you remember
and
that Snoop and
gone.
JT?
How good this song was.
That Snoop, JT, and
Right.
Charlie Wilson?
Nah.
That Signs?
I don't remember.
Y'all remember that Signs? Snoop, JT, and Charlie Wilson?
Oh, I do. I
I'll
do.
play that.
I
I'll
do.
play
I do.
that
I
for
do.
you.
I do. I do. I do.
I'll probably, when I hear it,
Classic,
I'll probably be like, oh yeah, that joint. But yeah, it was the Believe track, and then Nicki dropped a song called Yikes, where she's kind of addressing and making some comments,
Yikes.
but
I
it's
gotta
trash
check it
to
out.
me. I'm sorry. I like Nicki, but it's trash.
I thought she retired.
See,
She back.
she's
Floyd
never
Mayweather.
retired, just like your man Hov. But all right, man. It's a good little time to kind of transition into. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Pastor Mase.
Mason Betha.
Mason Betha and Diddy, Bad Boy,
Harlem World.
what we grew up on, that era when that golden era of hip hop, right? What is going on, y'all?
What's up?
Mace and Diddy. Mace came out of
Mace
nowhere.
went to bed, man.
Mace was mad.
He
Mace
hungry.
was mad because I guess Mace was saying
his
like
point was
Diddy
it was
still owns like
tasteful,
all
though.
his publishing, and he's
he
just
said
like,
he's
yo,
trying to buy that shit right now for $20 million.
no, $2 million,
I'm sorry,
right?
for
He said
$2
I
million.
offered $2 million.
What's
to
$2
Diddy,
billion to Diddy, man?
Right, and Diddy bought it for $20,000 back
Right.
in the day. He made Mace sign
he's a
off.
shrewd
I mean,
businessman.
but he right. And so Diddy still owns this to this day. He's still clocking bread off of this.
So you feel like Diddy can just
So
easily
Mace
just give
is
him
like,
that.
yo, you can't be on that brother love shit.
Right, that's what it was.
And then be
Brother
out
love.
You promoting
here
this message.
suppressing us, right? Like,
Right.
you're oppressing us, right? You're basically just as bad as them white folks, right? Like that you're talking about,
Pretty
Ali.
much.
And you're like, yo, I own you, basically.
Culture vulture.
We gonna put Diddy in the culture vulture
I go say culture
category?
vulture because he did a lot for the culture.
Let them opinions fly.
But like I seen
It
Q,
might be
I seen
fair.
Q from 112, and he was saying the same thing. He was saying like he agreed with Mace, but at the same time they signed a deal when they was young. But
And that's
if Diddy
business.
is trying to be
That's business.
about the shit he talking about, if he got that bread like that, he should just be
In
like,
my
boom,
mind-
Mace,
in
here go
my
your royalties
mind-
for your shit. You did that.
That part.
He's right.
'Cause I
I
don't
think
read it.
at this point, it's like, yo, all right, bro. All right. If you supposed to be my brother
Right.
too, because
If-
Mace
and I know you
Mace,
need it.
right?
Like, come on.
Come on, all right, bro. Like I'm almost a billionaire at this
Right.
point. You can have him back, dog.
Maybe there's something
Like,
deeper than that with their relationship.
True.
I
But
just think
still,
it's-
if you can't
I
speak
think
on
it's
that-
power, like you said, you was talking about how we talked about racism and how,
Right.
for the most part, right, it was derived around power because of how white people were so superior to us back in the day, right? Even though that's not the definition of racism, but it's about
I was
power.
about to say.
It's about power. You said it. It's about power, right? I feel like Diddy loves his power. So at the end of the day, he's never gonna give it to anybody. Never. He's never gonna do it because he's like, yo, I made a business deal with you, and now I'm in a great place, and it was an amazing business deal because look at how much money I'm making.
But Mace
off
did
of
a
it.
lot for him though, like with Bad Boy. So it's
I'm
like,
with you.
know what I mean?
I believe Diddy should let it go. I believe Diddy should be like,
At
hey,
this
I'm gonna
point,
give it to you.
yeah, at this point, I feel like
I'd have made,
But she was right.
made a lot of money off of your shit.
Right.
So why didn't I
Let me
just
go ahead and give
you
it
your
back to
shit
you
back?
now. And I feel like he would have, I don't know. We really don't know Diddy's circle. We don't know, what type of situation it is. Like you
He's
said,
a
there could
shrewd
be a
businessman.
conversation behind the snes that maybe is why he won't give it back. We don't know what Mace
They
has
may have a
said
personal
off
issue
camera.
together,
Yeah.
where it's like, nah, you ain't getting
You're
this.
never getting this
Never,
shit back.
B.
Right. because of what you said or what you did. I can't
Right.
forgive you for leaving me and going to be a pastor. I can't forgive that, Mason.
Yeah, it could be something personal, man. He kind of trying to
I
get.
can't forgive you, my nigga.
He's trying to get the
Sorry.
public opinion on his side or something. You never know.
But Mace, to me, yeah, you're right. I think Mace is still true.
Welcome
We
back,
never know.
Welcome back,
Breathe, stretch,
back.
shake.
Let it go.
That nigga was. Whew. Oh, man,
Yeah, Mase was cool.
He
I like
tried. I thought he was ready because Welcome Back was fire. To me, that was a dope record.
It was cool.
You know, you like that. Welcome back.
Yeah, it was cool for a
He
little
was
summer.
dancing. The
Little summer
sprinklers
joint.
was.
Yeah, it was cool for the summer.
Even Diddy was on that. Diddy was like, "I'm never letting you go, Mace." Still, he was like, "Even if this shit
This
pop,
guy
I'm
is-
on."
Right.
But yeah,
I mean, that was his biggest artist besides Diddy. Besides Big.
yeah.
I mean, you
Oh,
can't really
man.
name no other artists like. I mean, Sean Poe.
It's a new day in the rap game.
Hey, Sean did 10 years, man.
Yeah, he did 10.
Now he's cooked.
For that J-Lo shit.
Now he's cooked.
See how I did that? For that J-Lo shit. Protected Diddy and J-Lo in the
Yo,
club, man.
J-Lo did her thing at 50 though at the Super Bowl though.
Oh, yeah. Shakira, right?
She was
Oh,
killing
she
it.
sure did.
I remember, yeah, Shakira, they both got off. That was a crazy little show.
Yeah, it was.
It was good. It was. I mean, I haven't really watched the Super Bowl show
Shakira,
since Beyonce shut the
So-
shit
so
down.
Lola, how you
baby,
feel
dance
about it?
like that.
How you feel about the whole Mase and Diddy thing?
I think it's fucked up, basically. I think,
This man
I
going,
mean,
man.
exactly what, just a little break, you know.
Cook.
I agree with what y'all was saying. Like, I think at the beginning, there was a business deal.
At the
people,
beginning.
people, you
They
know,
was happy to get some money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So both parties, you know, you agreed to it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
I
perhaps
made 10,000. You made 10 million. I want some of that.
Word.
at this point, just given where everybody stands,
Shit, probably
given the
100
history of the
million
relationship, just given when you put the facts down on paper,
Nigga said $2
unless,
million.
like Ali said, unless there's some underlying something that we don't know about that maybe would make this make more sense for us.
Yeah.
Then I feel like
Make this make sense for us,
yeah, I
Mace.
feel like
Need
it's
some more
kind of fucked
details,
up.
Mace. I feel like he wrote a book, right, on the Instagram little post or whatever wherever he put
Oh,
it.
I thought he had a
and
real
it was a
book.
whole
dissertation.
bunch of it, right? Dissertation. He put it all there.
He
and it was
said, "I
kinda
wanted
like-
to wait until I was financially in a
Right.
certain place before
which was
I
a smooth
came."
way to position it,
Right before I came.
Because it made it look like, oh,
you broke
Yeah.
and
You know, we
you
love-
ain't
we
got
love
you
to say
right.
that. We love
right,
to
oh,
say
you
that somebody
broke. That's
broke.
why you saying
Right,
it.
so he like, so I
ain't
wanted to
eating.
make sure.
I ain't
So
eating.
y'all know
Paid
this
in
isn't
full.
coming from a
That's
bad
the funniest
place.
scene ever.
So I think that he wanted to send that
Smashing
message,
that
make sure he
chair.
wasn't
Kermit the
coming from a
Frog
bad
ass.
place. Like, I don't want these niggas out here to think I'm broke and I'm doing this for the wrong reason,
Fact.
and they lose sight of what I'm trying
trying
to
to
say
show you
and
what
what the
Mr.
point,
Brother
right,
Love,
and what
yeah.
the point is I'm trying to make. So let me let y'all know I'm not hurting. So this is how I feel about the situation.
Hey, I can't
So-
help but Lola got the little curl bang falling over her eye, y'all. Y'all see it,
I'm on
man?
my Aaliyah.
Slide in the DM,
Oh.
y'all. But yeah, you're right.
Yo,
you're
that
right,
brother
you're
love
right,
make me think of Buddy Love from Nutty Professor.
Oh my God, Buddy Love.
Buddy Love.
Crazy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see how that turn out because I feel like at the end of the day, like, Diddy's never gonna do it. Mase is just kind of
Period.
threw it out there. He kind of wanted to start a fire, which to me he did. He started enough
About a
because
day.
now we're all looking right. You know, it's
Niggas
a
don't care.
microwave shock value. You know,
Right.
people will be mad at you for 2 weeks and then they move on to the next day.
Maybe
so.
2 days. And it's
Especially
2 hours.
Diddy because
2
Diddy
hours.
got what? He got
Money
power.
and power.
So he has the ability, like, man, shut that shit down. How
Right.
much you want to pay me?
Calm
TMZ,
all
how
that,
much you
calm
need?
all
How
that
much?
shit down.
He don't even need to do that. All you gotta do is come out and
Make a
something else
comment.
that's cool
Right.
tomorrow. Niggas gonna forget about it because nobody's rocking with Mace right now, so it doesn't
Right.
matter what he got to say.
Mace don't have
even
any
if
leverage.
he's speaking the truth, nobody cares about that
Mase
stuff.
has no leverage.
People just care about how much money you got and the power you got and the influence you got.
Breathe, stretch, shit, let it go.
That's it.
Shit, that shit is hard, man.
It would take-
Tell me what you want from
Oh,
me.
Okay,
dang, I forgot about
take
that.
a look at what you
Now,
see.
Mase be
Mase
the
has
man
some
want
joints.
see do good. I want to get rich, leave in the hood. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
Mase
We
has
just
some
talking
joints.
about
He has
Mase
some
and Loon
joints.
the
Yeah,
other
he has
day
some
and how they
joints.
had the slow flow.
We were.
I like Mase,
But
man.
I love Mace.
Loon?
Mace and Beth.
She just want to.
I want him to
you
hit
wanna
him
lick
with the
on his
shoulders.
dimples? That's what
Nah,
you was
nah,
saying.
B.
Something wild
That's
the
not
other
what I
day.
said.
I thought that's what you
Wow.
said.
It's not what I
He was
said.
like,
You're mistaken.
I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Mace like 50 years old.
I've been
He-
informed.
You were misinformed.
I've been informed.
You were misinformed.
that somebody
actually.
loves her some Mace.
I did say I love me some Mace. What did I
Okay,
say
so you
specifically? I
licking
said
them
I like
you
his
licking
shiny
them
outfit,
dimples.
and I
them
like how he be
dimples.
hitting them with the shoulders.
I heard dimples.
Yeah,
to
his
hit him with
dimples
the
are cute.
shoulders,
I
so
didn't say
stop
nothing
trying to
about
run
licking
from
the
licking
dimples.
them
though.
dimples.
His dimples are very nice.
Yo,
I did not say anything
Mason,
of the sort of wanting
Mason
to
wanna
lick
be the
his
man to see you
dimple.
doing good.
He always
I
starting
want to
shit.
get rich, leave you in the hood. Nah.
Mace like
Shit, say
grandpa
that.
right now. B.
Grandpa Mace.
Hey,
Shit.
I've not
that's
even
all of them.
seen
Did he
him
finally let
lately.
Cassie go? You saw that? Cassie left and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
pregnant,
Mrs.
married, and
Fine.
on her way
They
now.
had the
I don't
baby.
know.
Well,
Mrs. Fine.
congratulations, Cassie. But you talk about grandpas.
and
I
Mrs.
think they
Fine.
all at that point.
Pull up a picture of Mace. Let me see him.
They all the legends.
They ain't got no new pictures of Mace, man.
Yeah.
Mace is cool.
She trying to see the dimples.
No, I'm not.
I like Mace. Mace is.
I want to see. Say Mace 2019.
She's like,
Hey,
you need
can't-
to
hey,
specify.
man, Harlem
even though we
World.
2020.
Harlem World.
Yeah, all of this. Yeah, say like 2019 or something.
Tell me what
Why am
you
I pulling
want
up pictures of
from
Mace,
me.
Because I
man?
asked you.
Now your search history got the Mace.
Right,
Right.
Mace 2019.
You want this Mace t-shirt?
He got the Milwaukee Bucks hat on.
Cookies.
Cookies.
I don't know, man. All these pictures of Mace
Yeah,
is
they
regular
all
pictures of
look-
Mace. That nigga Mace don't age.
Yeah, Mace still the same.
I was just
man.
about to say, I mean, outside of the ones that you can visibly tell are old,
there you
I'm
go.
not entirely sure.
Just put Mace welcome back.
Shut
That get you the most
up.
recent or closer.
I don't know.
These niggas too old to
Alright.
be dressing like this, man.
We'll see how it go, man.
How old is these niggas dressing like this,
Come
man?
on,
Ridiculous, man.
He's cooked. Yo, who's that? A Mace company? But yeah, man.
Hey, your
they got
boy.
the logo. I do it.
Your
Shout out
boy.
to
I do
Sean,
it.
man. But yeah, man. All right. So it's all
Alright,
love,
let's
you know.
move
At
on,
the
let's
end of
move
the
on.
day, man.
Is it really?
Mason
Is
Diddy.
it really
hopefully
all
they hash it out. But hopefully Diddy really does take what he said into consideration
Black
about those
excellence.
legendary artists that he
Hopefully.
helped create in the beginning and say, all right, let me let you get that.
What
back."
legendary artists did he create besides
Whoa,
Big and
the whole
Mace?
list. The
Big
whole
Mace.
list of pieces. Like, I mean, Mary J. Blige wasn't initially.
Did he make Mary J though?
Yeah,
Did
they
he?
start
Okay,
the
I
first
didn't know if
album
he did,
that
so-
was the 411 was
was
produced
under
by
Bad Boy?
Diddy. It wasn't under Bad Boy. It was Uptown Records, right? But he was a part of Uptown Records in the beginning.
Right.
But Mary,
I mean,
you
I
got
know
the Craig
he's
Max,
good
you have
with
the
that,
you
yeah.
have the
R.I.P.
Bigs,
Craig
you
Mack,
have
man.
all the RIPs, right? Then you have the 112s,
G-Dep.
you have the G-Deps, the
But, like, what happened to their
Black
careers,
Rob.
though? They
you got a
careers-
lot of those guys back then.
But their careers just
Even think
wasn't
about the
nothing, though.
Locks. They switched to D Block
yeah.
because of that shit.
What you mean?
Like,
Now there used to be the Warlocks. He made them change to the Locks because he was telling them that.
I'm talking about D Block, how they
Yeah.
completely like changed because they wanted to add people and do their own thing under a
Right.
different moniker. So just think about how Diddy was locking it. The band, you have different people that came later,
I'm talking
like,
about, like,
the
but-
Identity Kane's. Like Diddy does that
But Diddy-
microwave
Diddy-
hit shit,
yeah,
like I'll make you a
microwave
star,
shit.
and then he says you need to sustain it, and I'm like.
gotta,
That's
like,
not
build the
necessarily
brands up,
fair.
though,
you
like,
can kind
you
of
know what I
stick it out with your artists and
He's
get them
created a
2-3
lot of shit,
albums
but
in
like
first.
and just left it like that.
Right.
Like,
But
he ate
then
off
he's
of people
like,
a lot.
I got those first projects and I'm never
Right.
letting go of the publishing rights, right?
Right.
And your masters, I got all of that shit. You can't have none of it.
Right.
You can't
I feel
have
like
none of it.
he's
It's
doing that to a
mine.
lot of artists. So,
Right.
you know, Diddy's the guy, I grew up emulating Diddy as far as like his business sense and his ability to just always stay relevant, right? To the point where I used to be like, yo, that's Uncle Diddy just because our names both were Sean when I was growing up. But I feel like in this situation, Mase definitely has a valid point.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Diddy,
just my
Diddy was
opinion.
dope
And I
though,
let
but I
that
feel like
shit
he could have
fly.
did a lot more for the artists, like
Yeah.
to just increase the artists.
Come on, Diddy, man. We love you, dog. Make sure you
Because like you said,
do
it's a
right
lot
by
of-
these
a big
folks, man.
roster, but it's like they
Yeah.
didn't really blossom like they could have.
Nobody.
You know what I mean?
I know you just think
Like
about it.
G-Dep and like Black Rob. I mean, like what was this? All you remember?
Make this money.
Yeah.
Take this money. We was Harlem
ain't no
shaking.
way
be
you
on
could
artist
take
too.
this from me.
Special delivery.
It could be on the artist too, though, because it's up to the artist to make them hits at the same time.
That's that's
I
true.
mean, Diddy
That's-
can't write your shit every time for you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he
well,
wrote
he
their
wasn't
shit.
writing anything, but yeah,
Right.
I get what
but
you're
it's
trying
like
to say.
you got to at least bring him something that you can like make tight.
I just think he likes to jump to the next best thing.
Right.
I think that
He's
too.
like, it's like what they say in business, right? Like you got to stay ahead of the curve. Like you can't be too stagnant because as a company, if you think, oh, it's working right now, I'm just gonna chill. We're gonna just chill right here. This is how we're gonna do business forever.
he like a hot pocket.
You'll fall behind because you got to stay ahead because that shit fall off, right? Eventually, the world's gonna
Eventually,
pass you by.
But when you look at like what we got right now, like the Migos and all them, it's like they
They
team
better-
stick with them. Like Migos been hot for
Right.
like since
QC.
I was in like high school.
And that's that was my original point, right? If Diddy could have did that. He could
You
have
know
did
what I
that. He
mean?
could have stuck
The
around.
little babies and
but
all
they
them.
they better fucking, you know,
Migos got a new album coming
they
out. man.
better
I
grow
fuck with
too
Migos.
because this is hot right now,
Yeah.
right? That trap rap shit
I mean,
is
they can
hot.
only do so much with
Well,
that.
not trap rap, but the triplet flow as they call it that we
Okay,
hear
that's what
right
it's called?
now. That's what I call it. You know, that's the three triplet.
Okay.
But you know, if they don't start to try to evolve and start to pass out, you know, get out there and expand.
But what more do
they'll
they
get
do,
passed
though?
behind as well. They won't be legendary like a Jay or one of those other people who have a timeless.
I don't expect
them
him to be like that.
But to be timeless, what do you have to do? You have to be able to evolve and grow.
I'm talking about the money game. Like they've been eating for a long time. Like
I guess.
You know what I mean?
No
it wasn't like they had their first album
Beatles.
and they had like their first hit and then it was it.
Yeah.
It's like they've been producing hits for like years.
It's like R&B. What's an R&B artist that got left behind in the past?
All of them.
There is a big chunk.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think.
Donnell Jones.
All right, Donnell's got some joints though.
Hell yeah.
Where I want.
What about like Next and shit like that?
Hell yeah. Next.
Man.
Drew Hill.
Next, who did Shopping Sprees? No more
Shopping Sprees.
Who did that?
No more babies. No
RL?
more.
I'm trying to get to
Was that
who
RL
it
or
is.
something like that? Or that's he's RL is the next.
I can't think of who it is. But yeah,
But you know, them type
all
groups,
those,
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, it happens though. Is what I'm saying. Like time can pass
Total.
you
Where
by.
is Total?
Damn.
Where is Total? Total, help me sing.
Oh, we know
Whatever
Escape
I
tried.
am,
They tried to do that thing too, but come back.
3 LWs.
That got big though. I was proud of them. Oh God.
Promises.
I'm getting
That was my
tired
girl,
of
though.
everything.
I used to let
That
her
was
get
her.
it,
Nah, shout out to Adrian Bailano. She's the only one who. Well, no, Notori.
Power.
Tasha.
But my girl was the one that was
Your girl
yeah,
faded
she
out.
fell
Yeah,
off,
she was supposed to be like the one out of them.
Was she?
I think she was the
I
lead.
think Adrian was supposed to be the one.
She was just
No.
light skinned. I
Yeah,
think
she was.
I think your girl Keely is her name was the
Keely.
one. They
She had on
tried.
that list.
They
Yeah,
tried.
she was.
This is I think she had like a family and all that too.
She
probably
did.
like-
She had a baby like a year or
probably
two
just rather be
ago.
a family
Because
woman.
something popped
Faded
up
out.
where I remember she was
I'm
on
sure she don't own her
TMZ
masters
or
neither.
something
I don't think
on.
none of them own
Publishing.
that. They
Something on
probably
the
own that.
internet. I can't remember who said what or what happened, but I remember seeing her and she was pregnant and
Tasha.
she had made a comment about something.
Wait, go hit it with
Two
that.
fingers.
You think Tasha killed her or what? Tasha, it's Tasha and Tariq, man.
It's both of them.
I think it's Tasha.
I
'cause
think
we
it's
seen
a
the leaks.
combo. I
Both
think it's
of
a
them.
combo.
Leaks and
I ain't
shit in
see
jail,
no
so-
leaks. Damn, you giving away the
Yeah,
show.
the
But
leaks.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's the
thought those
leak.
were some fake ones that they kind of threw together.
Who
I think
knows?
it's gonna be both of them in some way, shape, or form, and I think that's how Tariq's
could be
gonna
the
end up
cop, though.
moving on. I know
Yeah.
you said you stopped watching.
I did,
Power,
so I want you to feel
Why
me.
you stop watching it?
Because
She stopped watching after the last episode. Like
after they went on, when they went on a break, I never picked it back up.
Oh, you just didn't
it
pick
had
it
to
up.
come back, B.
Well,
These
went on a
last
break
so
last
you,
week.
after they shot Ghost and Ghost fell off the thing, you stopped there.
I don't even. Did I
you see
even watch
Ghost get
that
shot?
episode, or did
'Cause
I
the
might
break
have
was
seen
last
that?
weekend.
I might have seen that on the
You
internet.
just saw
I
the
can't
clip,
remember.
so that's how you was able to,
I think-
share with us.
B been
that
riding
time.
this whole time.
I
now
think
she
so.
gonna stop.
Damn, yeah, she's
Yeah,
cool. I
because
think she needs to go binge
when it
watch the
maybe
whole
I
show,
will
this
do.
last
Maybe I'll
season
do
by
that
yourself
today.
and just knock it out.
Maybe I'll do that today because
Tonight, get caught up.
they I don't know. Honestly, I was just listening to the internet and mad people was just talking about it wasn't popping. Then they had some episode
niggas
that
is
was all
haters, man.
about.
Yeah, and it's
all
been
about,
I mean, it's been weak ever since
yeah,
Tariq and them.
What's her name? All about Angela's sister Pies. They had some episode that was all about
That was like 2
pies.
episodes.
Yeah, they did pause
I
and
don't
they
know,
did
so
tape.
I just wasn't
Governor
hearing any
tape,
good things.
council
And-
They was doing suspects.
Showing
They was-
you-
all the suspects. They would do a whole episode on them and how it wasn't them. So
And
the
then
next
they'll
one
give
be
you
like
a
that, who was it?
little at the end, like so they'll
Yeah.
reveal a little more of the timeline
But
at the
you
end
gotta
of
see
each
it for
episode.
yourself, B.
It's good. Don't
If it's good, then
don't let people do you like
if y'all
that.
you say it's good too.
I mean, I think it's
Damn,
been.
like I ain't got no credibility.
No, I said two. I just want to see if it's
T-O-O,
broken.
T-O-O.
I think it's been
T-O-O.
cooked ever since I was talking about it with my pops when Ghost and Tommy was up in there fighting like they was about to kill each other, and Tariq gonna come in and they gonna stop fighting like bro, y'all sitting there trying to kill yourself like.
But
I
it's
don't
all
believe Tariq.
love, though.
I don't believe. Nah, it's not no love.
It's
You trying to kill a
fam.
motherfucker
They
like.
fam though. It just
Bro,
got.
they try to take each other out.
It
How
got
many
bad
times?
because they thought
It's
it
been
was
weak.
real bad. They thought some lines was crossed,
It's
but
been
I'm not
weak.
gonna give away the show for you because
It's
it gets
been
it
weak, but it's
tied.
like
Some
Apple.
things tie back up, and it looks
Yeah.
real good at the last episode.
Perhaps
It's been
I'll
weak.
watch it
It's been
today.
weak, but it's like Apple. You gonna keep buying the phone because you just
You right.
you've been buying the phone for
It
so
just
long.
it just hasn't really been moving me. Honestly, for a minute now.
It's
Way,
been,
but
this
way
last
before
season's
this
been
last
weak.
season.
Last two been weak.
It was just
I
like
don't know. I
it was
ain't gonna go
dwindling
that far.
down
I'm
last
enjoying
season.
it still, but I get what you mean. As it gets to the conclusion of a show, it's kind of like Game of Thrones. Things start to
Sopranos
kind
just has a bad
taper
ending.
off. You get the cousin Oliver syndrome, as they call you,
Yeah,
like when
it's
they
cool.
add extra characters and stuff like that to try to spice it up.
I just need closure, man. I just need closure.
But you just need closure. You're
Yeah,
right.
I just need some
Like Meek and Nicki.
I'm just waiting for Snowfall to come back on.
Yeah,
We'll see how that turns out without John.
Reed
but,
Thompson.
you know, we'll see. Reed Thompson. But,
Reed Thompson.
All right, let's go.
Well, you guys know what time it is. I still want you guys to be
It's been
excited.
the tea time the whole
I'm
time,
about to
dude.
just say it's been tea time from jump, but this is official.
Let me get it in, man.
It's official.
Let's do an ultra clean.
Okay.
No,
okay.
3. Let's go.
All right, guys. So on the couch with Lola B. Today we're gonna talk about secrets among Black families. Y'all, therapy, is it frowned upon among the Black culture? Kind of even tying back into what I said earlier about our struggle going way back and things like that. We all got a lot of issues. I mean, honestly, I feel like everybody got issues, but you know, Black people, it's a lot. It's a lot of history. It's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Generational curses.
Ooh,
it's just
all about those.
It's a lot. Like, we got a lot of baggage. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So just want to talk about if y'all feel like that's necessary, because I feel like it's frowned upon. So, people are very judgy about that. Like, go talk to somebody.
So
like
therapy.
Yeah, therapy, and then just Black parents, grandparents, whomever, sweeping shit under the rug.
Secrets.
Like, you got uncle molesting this one. Don't nobody really know about it, but y'all know nobody's really doing anything about it.
Family
I feel like that's something that's common in the Black culture, for families to sweep shit under the rug and not identify and address issues that need to be addressed.
All right. Well, I guess, at the end of the day, it exists. It's a true thing. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to hide it, right? And I'm sure everybody out there can, agree and feels the same about it. Yes, therapy's okay. Yes, therapy's okay. I know this is kind of like your T topic is like a 2-part thing to me.
It is.
We talk about is therapy okay, but then also we're talking about Black families and their secrets.
It ties together. Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of the secrets and everything kind of ties into stuff happening.
It causes you needing some damn therapy, right?
You get
so
older, you carrying on shit, and then
you're messing up relationships in your life and things like that because you're holding on to that stuff. The way you're raising your kids,
it manifests in many of different ways that you don't even identify. Sometimes you do and you ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because excuses were always made. Now you're making excuses now and stuff like that. So I just think that it's time to get away from that. Things need to be spoken about. The light needs to be, people need to be in the spotlight. If you got something going on, like families are not talking to each other as much, I feel like, as they should.
I'll say this
should.
to clip you, right? Mm-hmm. I'll say this. Therapy's cool, and I'm not knocking it. Everybody go get your therapy, get your mental health right, because I'm on that wave right now about positive mental health. I don't have a therapist, right? But
I'm for it, though.
I feel like communication is key in our relationships, right? In our families, our relationships, our friendships, right? Being able to have the ability to go in a room and hash some things out and then see things for what they really are. Are very important, right? I'm not trying to take dollars out of the pockets of therapists either, because sometimes you just really need help. Somebody went to school for this. They can talk you through. They know what it looks like when they're hearing certain trigger words or trigger behaviors. They can help. But I also think, like you said, because of the secrets that we have and the way that we say, oh, we're not going to talk about that at the cookout, or we're going to act like that person doesn't exist, or that rape didn't happen, or that molestation, however you want to break it down, or whatever, that criminal activity, whatever it is, did not happen. So-and-so to spit in the macaroni and cheese, we're going to act like that didn't happen, right?
No, not the macaroni and cheese.
Not the mac and cheese. I'm telling.
But Black folks will hide stuff, right? And we talk about that, all the time. But if we can just communicate, I feel like it would reduce the amount of trauma that we have, right? The lifetime trauma. So to me, if you can reduce that, I don't really need a therapist. If I'm willing to communicate and I'm willing to open up, I don't think I need a mediator.
If it can be addressed on the front end, then that would hopefully eliminate you having to have therapy or later on in life, because you're not skating through life with all of these secrets and things that happen to you that nobody's acknowledging. You know what I'm saying? You a kid and your uncle been touching you and nobody wants to talk about it.
Doing what?
Touching. Uncle, I feel like it always got something to do with like on TV or uncles.
Shout out to Cat Williams.
It be a lot of uncles. Not saying nobody else does it, but I don't know. The
It's
narrative
just the
is
uncles?
no. I just said
It's always Uncle
the narrative
Willie.
is just like in movies. Tyler Perry, not
Uncle
Tyler
Jimmy,
Perry, but
somebody's
yeah,
always
it's always
uncle.
like uncle. Somebody's
Aunties
uncle
be
doing
touching
something.
people
Aunties
too,
do.
man.
Antoine Fisher.
Oh.
You know.
I think that was R. Kelly. Well, R. Kelly was like his sister though.
Yeah, it was his sister.
Yeah, he did.
So
yeah.
but
Damn,
He's
Antoine Fisher.
Antoine Fisher, yeah. So
That
That
stuff-
was
Hell
one
of
of
a
my
movie.
joints.
Hell of a movie.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm about to go to the crib in a minute. It's been a minute.
you go.
Shout out to
So
Derek.
stuff
It's
like
snowing today. You
that.
might just pop that thing in there,
Word,
man.
word. It's not snowing. It's fake snow.
Ah,
It's over.
It's snow outside.
It's
though.
over,
It's
but
over.
it's
It's snow
cooked.
outside.
It's cooked.
It's snow outside.
Cooked.
Yeah, it's
Out
snow
North
outside.
Georgia received some snow today.
It was a little
It's
was
over.
a slushy mix.
It's over.
No,
Why
when I pulled into my neighborhood, there were
it should have
people
came.
outside making
It
snowballs.
should have came.
I was in Atlanta today. It wasn't snowing, but up here it's snowing.
It
so.
should have came.
I don't know. I went all the way to the
yesterday.
east side today, and it
Well,
was
snowing.
snowing
I was in
hard.
DeKalb
If it
earlier
had
and it was
came
snowing, but it wasn't
yesterday,
sticking.
we would have been good money.
It would have
with
been
the 9 to 5s.
Yeah,
But
it
go
would've been
ahead.
out. You know they go crazy out here.
Right.
Shut down the highways and everything.
Get #get us a deal. Go ahead.
So yeah, I definitely think
Come on,
addressing
B.
that on the front end, communication is key. Communication is healthy. I am a huge
Hey, if Uncle molesting the
advocate.
children, he needs to be finished, man.
Yeah, he's
Right,
We
but,
need to take matters
but
into
I
our
don't
own
know.
hands,
I
man.
don't know exactly what the reason is.
or Auntie Bertha,
That,
whoever they cook.
They cook.
These
Put them hands
things
on 'em.
are swept under the rug. Like, is it embarrassment? Is it like I don't know?
I
can't
feel like we just don't
pinpoint.
like it. It's
People
the
in the
lack of
business.
communication.
Well,
Like,
that's
we
it.
just-
I think
That right there,
they
what you
don't
just
want.
said.
It's like because you got a big family, but you got smaller families within families, and it's like shit. I want to keep this shit in this house. I don't
no, we gonna
want.
exploit this
It is
nigga.
folks being embarrassed in their pride, right, about their family names too. Like people are like, well, so and so gonna be gossiping. I know Cynthia be over there running her mouth when she be at the book club,
Ooh,
like
that
that
sounds
type
fun.
of shit,
Yeah.
right? So people are like, I'm never telling anybody about this. Don't ever say anything.
But you
oh,
let
you got
them
so and
niggas
But
so.
it's
walk
like
around in
at
the street
what
free,
point,
though?
right? At what point
Yeah.
do you
Because
draw
now
a
you worse
line?
than you just as bad as them
You
if you're not like
you
exploiting them.
definitely are. It's almost like you're an
true. Or
enabler.
him or her.
Right,
It's
I
almost
know.
like you're
I'm
an
trying to balance
enabler.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like at what point do you draw the line?
Niggas
You
be
know what I'm
wild, though.
saying?
Niggas be
It's
wild.
certain stuff. I get
Right.
it. You don't want the other side of the family or whomever to know.
Right.
You want to keep your shit in your household.
Shit, I'd
I
rather
get
be
it.
known for
But
putting this nigga out
for stuff
than
like
letting it go
that.
out.
You know what I'm saying? Because then your kids be fucked up, feeling like the parents didn't stand up for them.
I feel
that,
like-
that translates
I'm with
into
you.
maybe
And
my
you
parents
create
didn't
more
love
of that
me.
cycle.
But
They
maybe
let
they-
this happen.
Maybe they're thinking about it more like what I said about, we talked about brands earlier, right? A family can have a brand, right? Mm-hmm. Ali's family has a brand. Your family has a brand.
Yeah, I don't know
My
nothing about
family
that
got
going on, but
a wild, crazy brand and generational curses that I'm trying to break right now, right?
We all
my
do.
little
We
one.
all
But,
got 'em.
At the end of the day, if you say something now, everybody is impacted by that. Like your whole family name is tainted, no matter how you look at it.
But it's gonna be more
Because you
tainted.
said
That's what I'm
when
saying,
you
but
let
isn't it
motherfuckers
worth
like
it?
that run
That's
around.
why I said, at what point do you draw the line?
I'm
That's
challenging
worth
it on
if
purpose,
something is
but I'm
happening
with y'all.
to my
Right.
child, I don't care if it's her father, his or her father.
Word.
I don't care if it's his or her uncle, auntie,
Nigga
sister.
gotta get dealt with.
I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, and I know y'all are more on the molestation thing, right? Like you're a little more deeply.
Well,
you
that's
know,
just-
determined
that's-
by
that's-
that. I'm
yeah,
talking
that's
about
just
just
a
secrets in
popular-
general that
yeah.
might stain you. So it might not just be,
Yeah,
you was
sexual
fondling,
misconduct, yeah, stuff,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's
it could be
that's
some other shit,
violation
right?
right there.
Yeah, that is probably the one that I'm like, you gotta say something.
I might have to go
right?
to- I might
That's
have to-
gonna help.
I might have to sit down
avoid-
for a minute over some shit like that.
Yeah, you might have to take
Yeah,
a
you
couple
might
of
have to
years.
sit
Might
down
do
a
a
little
bit.
bit,
I
you
got
know.
you. I like that. Sit down for a little bit, man.
Because the nigga gotta go.
Yeah.
Period.
Or
That's
it could be.
true.
I seen a story where a dude was
killing
he had a
some-
babysitter.
let me chill out.
And he had a video. His babysitter was molesting his kid. He
He
beat
had the
this
little
nigga to
teddy
a
bear
pulp.
on the counter
It
with
was
the
something
camera
like
in
that.
it.
He beat this nigga to a pulp and then called the police. Was like, yo,
Come
y'all
get
better
this
come
nigga.
get this
Oh,
dude.
I know what you're talking
before
about.
I think I saw that.
I was
Yeah.
like, dang, like.
That's-
Dude's whole face was
Was
like he looked like
caved
the Elephant Man.
Yes. I know exactly what
Oh,
you're talking
yeah.
about.
That's a different level, right? Because
Yeah.
that it come down to a little tray, it's over.
But usually in the court of law,
The
it's like
game's over.
they gonna side with you because that's your child, and like you're
Right.
not, you know.
You
Unless-
might catch a little time.
Nah,
You
he didn't
probably
get no
might.
time.
Oh,
He
he
did
won.
it.
He didn't get no time.
Okay,
he
I
called
like
the
that.
police, and he
Yeah.
didn't go all out and kill
He was
the
like,
person.
look,
Right.
I didn't kill him, but I beat him to a
they'll
pulp.
put it as like an
And
activist
y'all need to come get
He
him.
was doing things to my
Right,
child.
right.
And the child was like 3 or something.
Or
like, come
and
on,
there was
man.
a case where
Was he in his own home?
Yeah, it was in his
Yeah.
house.
Oh, that
Yeah.
plays
There
a
was
part
a case.
too.
There was
That
a case
plays a
similar
part.
to that where I think somebody walked in on some shit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Something very similar
I
to
think
that.
maybe
narrative.
it may have been that.
Lola.
Maybe that's what it was.
Now, if I walk in,
Yeah.
Walk
Shit,
in
that motherfucker might
to
not make it out.
Right, walk
It's
in.
gonna be hard because we grown men, right? So
Right.
at this age, it's kind of like what you was alluding to earlier, right? When you was like, "What age is too old to beat somebody's ass?" Right?
But that's different.
That's never too old.
that's a
Never.
violation. Yeah.
But
When you've been violated,
as
that's
men,
different. Yeah.
And I don't know who said this to me when I was a young bull, but it was like, "Hey, when you fighting as men, either somebody's gonna be dead
Yeah,
or somebody's
you
getting
gotta really,
arrested,
like,
right? Like it's
take a
gonna
look
be
at that
one of those
situation.
type of situations,
It's that- 'cause
young
it's
brothers.
that
Like
serious,
y'all young
right.
brothers might be able to
I'll
scrap a
just
little
piece it
bit
out and be like, all right,
and
I
be
got- you
done.
got me, you got
But
me.
when
But
men
that's-
fight,
yeah.
because there's a lot on the line. Like there's pride on the line.
Yeah.
You know, there's a
lot of passion
big
behind
ass
that.
brothers
Yeah.
that are out here banging and swinging, and people are a little bit more strategic about how they gonna hurt
Sometimes you
somebody
gotta pick
too
your
when they're
battles too,
fighting.
though.
Right. But my whole point is to say, like, at the end of the day, like, if we fighting, I'm probably gonna kill you. Like, because if I leave
watch
you,
too much in the prison shows. I ain't going to jail though.
but think about it. What I'm saying is, if we fight, right, and
Then what's
especially if
next?
it's a
It's like,
random,
what
if
happens
it's a
after
random
that?
guy on the street, he's probably gonna keep going
Yeah.
until you either knock his ass out and you can just leave,
Yeah.
or you kill him by accident
Hey,
or
as
even
long
by
as you
on
got that
purpose.
CCW or that concealed carry, you know, you good.
Oh, you popping?
I'm gonna call the police right after that. Be like, look, this what
What your
happened.
man Westside say?
Give him that gun.
What
nigga.
Westside say? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. It's over.
But yeah,
That's
so
true.
not just putting it.
Hey, I got a
in
story
the-
about that. Story time before we go on,
Oh,
right?
You gotta lay
it's
somebody
lit.
down?
Yeah, one time, right? Shout out to Kroger.
Statute of limitations?
Shout out to I'm good. Shout out to I'm good,
Wait,
right?
Wait, what? You gotta lay somebody
Nah,
down?
I ain't had to put
Statute
nobody
of
down, but it was
Man.
real. Shout out to Fresh Fred Kroger, right? Back in the day, man. I was working. It's the Kroger in Buckhead where all the celebrities come, right? And I remember I used to work late. I was in college or whatever. I walk out to the car, and it ties into what you talking about. I was at the car, and I would close it down. Shout out to Big Nate. He knows what's up. And we would have to close the doors, lock them, walk away, and the security guy would just stay inside, right? And
Loss
because
prevention?
folks used to be right,
Stay inside
folks
and
used
do
to after
what?
he's finished, right, and then he letting the workers leave.
Watch his little
He
tapes
just
and
goes
take his little
inside
notes
or
and
whatever,
shit.
right? He'll stay inside. But there was these two dudes at the door, right? And they had been banging on the door. And, you know,
Niggas want some
ain't
chicken,
nothing
man.
racist going on, but they was two white boys, right? And they was a little drunk, right?
Okay.
And they was mad.
About
because
how
hungry,
old?
man. They want
Would
some
you
they was
say?
probably in that 18 to 22, 23 range, so they was a little wild,
They
right?
want some
with
food,
it.
man.
And they wanted something
Like
to try
Pac
to
said, I need some food,
sober
I'm busting
up.
through the door.
They was banging like mad at me, right? And so I remember they had kind of walked off for a second, and I kind of walked down, got to the car, and I was strapped. You know, I'm licensed to carry, and I had it on me, right? It was in the cup holder. I had pulled it out, put it in the cup
You
holder.
said it was in the cup holder.
They came up, and it was like, yeah, all that shit you was being all extra tough, blah, blah, blah. And
Like
Bruh.
young man.
when I tell you,
You gotta keep that thing hot. You ain't even
when
gotta
I
pull
tell
it
you,
back.
I was like this.
when I pull this fire out,
And my hand went on my shit.
almost had to do that 2
and
weeks ago at the gas
I
station.
looked up at them, and one of them saw what I was doing. Like I
Oh, he
was
saw
like,
you reaching.
it's about to get live in the parking lot because I was sitting in my car with the door
Yeah,
open,
yeah, that
and they
Lloyd
were
Banks bumping too in there.
and they was mad close.
and I had the joint in my hand. And his man grabbed him and like pulled him back.
Because
like,
he was like, he got
it's
shit got
all
real.
good. He
Shit
saw
got
it,
real in
but-
that moment.
His man was still
Right.
talking like drunk talking, and I was like, "Yo, the drunk, y'all know drunk white boy be the best white boy. Like that when they're fighting, they don't feel shit. So I'm like, I'm about to have to shoot one of these niggas because they might stomp my ass out because they ain't gonna feel nothing, even
Right.
if I'm strategic about fighting. So I grabbed it, and I'm telling y'all, when
Well,
it was
thankful
over, I was
for
like,
his friend because
Yeah.
that he peeped what was going on. Cause
I was
shit,
ready though.
Yeah, you'd have to sit down for a couple days.
I had to sit down.
Get that lawyer.
Nah, I was in my property.
But
they was
They
approaching
still
me.
gonna put you down
Right.
for a day or two.
Well,
You gotta
yeah,
get
I
that
would have
gun
been
up.
locked up. Yeah,
They gonna-
yeah,
you gotta
for
give me the
that,
gun.
and I would have had to speak my story, right? But you know, at the end of the day, it was a little wild. That was a while back, but just to tie back into what we was talking about men and you know how it goes to the extra line. But yeah, as far as like the secrets and you know getting therapy, fine. There's a lot of things out there that black people need therapy for. Yes, go
gotta
get your
talk,
therapy.
man.
I just think you need to
Communication,
communicate,
yeah.
man. If you could
We try
communicate,
to avoid a lot of situations.
if we can implement that, if we can change the narrative
Yeah.
to the communication factor
Yeah.
and
You
how
think therapy
and
means,
how
like, you
help-
crazy.
right? And
Instantly.
that's
When you
why
just need to talk,
and that's
like-
why it's so frowned upon. The moment you say that, niggas is like
So
they're,
what if I
they're
splash it?
judging.
Let me splash it a little bit more. How you feel about medication with therapy?
If
So like say you're in therapy And there's a lot of conversations that happen around it with you and your therapist, and then your therapist is like, yeah, I think
medication
we need to recommend
can
you
kinda
because
make
I
you
think
worse,
now
though.
you're, whether it's a psychiatrist and it goes to that next level and that person says you need some pills to kind of balance you out or whatever's going on.
You're probably kind of
with
too far gone where you may need that, but I don't want to. I feel like if you're not at that point, a lot of that stuff is like they try to get you onto that stuff where you can keep coming
Keep
back
coming
to.
back,
Like,
keep spending
that's how
money.
you feel about
so
it.
it depends because some people need that. Like they just off.
Some
people
to
just
put you
off
on
and they need
medication.
something.
I agree,
Some therapists and
100%.
stuff like that, they like, let me write this up because you need a X, Y, and Z. Like,
Right,
no,
Right.
fuck, I don't.
And then you become an addict, and now you hooked on
I
that.
agree. That's
It's
why.
like, I got some baggage,
Was
and
he
I got some fucked up
is he like
baggage,
bipolar? What is he?
Delonte West said they gave him a psychiatrist, and he said once they start doing it, give him the drugs, they gave him
That's
like
when he
the
was
back, they
fucked
gave him
up,
like a
huh?
wrong medication one time and it messed him up. But he said once he started doing that, he just was never himself
Never
no
the
more,
same.
and that probably made him worse because now he's just dealing with all this stuff.
Wilding out on the
and now you don't
streets
want
and
to take
shit.
it, and you just like,
Damn.
sometimes he probably just needed somebody else to talk to.
I'm
Sometimes
with
you know
you.
what I mean, like
Yeah, that is a
because
good
we don't
example.
know what caused him to be the way he is. He
Right.
could have had generational curses that
Right.
kind of
That's
put him in
China.
a certain situation, and
I'm with
he
you.
was just never able to overcome it. You get money and all that stuff, and you never really dealt with your problems. Now you just got money, and it's just feeding into your addictions and
I
your other
don't want
problems.
no drugs, man. I don't have a problem with say going to some type of counseling. Like say there was a problem right in my relationship or my marriage, right, and I'm like, I really love my wife and I want to make sure everything is good. Like if that's what we need to do to make it happen, because that's a form of communication to me as well. So like if it goes past the fact that, hey, we've done enough communicating on our own, but it seems like somebody might need to step in and be that mediator for us, fine. But once somebody starts telling me, you know what?
Oh, I think you would do
you
well
should take
if you-
this
yeah.
Prolex X57, whatever you call this.
So
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
not
go
taking medicine.
to fucking
Making
liver
shit up.
failure
Right.
and goddamn
Side effects and shit.
Maybe some
Right.
indica, but I don't know.
Hallucinating.
right.
But
But,
you know,
yeah.
No, so yeah, I mean overall, like I said earlier, I agree if we can change the narrative and if
Yeah.
we can exploit communication to be healthy, then that can prevent a lot of these issues that people are carrying around with them and the baggage and the generational curses and everything. But like you said, if therapy, you know, if that's that is an option.
It
Is
is
what
an
I will
option,
say. Like
yep.
counseling stuff like that, that is an
It's an
option.
option.
I do think that that's healthy. I think it is. Because you never know what somebody's going through to take that foot forward and say, you know what, I need to go talk to somebody. Like what I'm doing, I can't do this alone. I can't handle this. Maybe it's bigger than me. I don't know how to affect. I've tried this and it's not working. I might need to go see. It takes a lot, you know what I'm saying, to go and, you know, expose somebody, a stranger, to your baggage and add a fear of being judged, and just all kind of shit. So I think it takes a lot, you know, it takes a big person to take that foot forward and to take a step like that. So I definitely don't think that, you know, counseling therapy should be frowned upon the way that it is. Because like Ali said, it's not always you're crazy or, you know what I'm saying, you got this going on. No, it's not always that.
Sometimes
Sometimes you just need to talk.
people to talk to.
To talk
either.
to,
That's the funny
exactly.
part.
your family could be just as messed up as you, so they're
Right.
giving you information that's making you worse.
That's true. That's a better way for us to look at it,
Exactly.
and it goes back to the communication.
Exactly.
You know,
So
they
I
can
just
communicate to somebody else because they don't have anybody to communicate.
I just feel like we
with.
need to do away with the secrets. You know, family is family. I feel like the communication, healthy communication.
Put that
is
shit on
only
the
gonna-
table,
Yeah,
man.
put that shit on the table.
Yeah,
Put that shit out
talk
there.
about it.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Talk
red
about
table
it
talk,
and
huh?
deal.
Right.
Talk about it and
Oh.
deal with it. Stop sweeping shit under the
Listen,
rug.
Jada and them be ready.
Stop. Red table talk is my shit.
It
Okay.
is.
Shout out
I've
to
been
Shout
told.
out to Jada.
and Mama Jada,
Jada and
baby Jada. That's what I'm
no,
gonna say. Mama
what do-
Jada and baby Jada.
What do
Willow and everybody.
I can't remember what they call her.
Who? Mama Jada?
No, yeah, they don't call her that.
I know. I'm calling her that.
Gammy. I know. No. I knew you was calling her
It's
that, but I
Mama
was trying to
Jada.
think about what they called her. But yeah, I love Red Table Talk. I think that is
a
that
great
is amazing.
platform.
I think it's a great platform.
We
I think
only
it's
aspire to
wonderful.
be as great as you, Jada. And your Red
Exactly.
Table
So,
Talk.
moral of the story is stop sweeping shit under the rug. Lay that shit on the table. Talk about it because essentially you are.
Shout out to K-Dot.
Right, you messing your kids up. They messing their kids up, and they don't even know it. You know what I mean? They don't even know it. You don't realize how this stuff manifests in so many different ways, and it's beyond you as the parent, or it's beyond you as the whomever. Like you got to think about the future and how deep this shit could really go. So
Gotta stop running from my problems and just attack them head on, right?
that part,
Boom, boom.
that part. So let me know how y'all feel, you know, in the comments below. As always, I definitely thank my bros for being transparent with me, transparent with you guys. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about that topic. Y'all got some shit going on in your family. You agree, trying to stop these generational curses. Let me know what y'all want to hear for next tea topic. But that is what we got for Tea with Lola B today.
Aku.
Well, Solidified family, it's been another great episode here on the couches. Because it's a couch, but couches.
Yeah,
They're plural. There are 2 couches.
We always let our opinions fly. You know,
Period,
make sure
boo.
y'all hit the subscribe button below. Make sure
Brown
y'all let
couch
us know
talk.
how y'all feel. When y'all are watching these videos, make sure y'all comment, man. When you're in your car, listening, wherever, once you get to your destination, stop. Put a comment. You know, if you're just streaming it and you only, audio streaming it, put that comment. Put that rating down there. Let us know, man.
We want to hear you.
Run it up, man. Make it happen.
We are here for you. Hashtag get us a deal.
Hashtag get us a deal. But as always, it's your boy, King Shizz.
It's your man, Ali the Great.
And it's Lola B.
We out, man. It's all love.
Peace. Yeah, I just learned how to do that Griselda shit.
Thank you. Just wrapped up another episode of Solidified Podcast. Make sure y'all stay tuned in. Make sure y'all subscribe. Follow us however you need to follow us. Make sure y'all click the link. TheSolidifiedPodcast.com. Check out the website, man. We really want y'all to go over there, check it out, let us know how you feel about it. And I kind of said it on this, I said it on a couple of episodes before. Make sure y'all go ahead and leave reviews, leave comments. We really appreciate you guys. Stay tuned in. All love.